Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. December 2021 is about to end and so is the year. This year I managed to read a lot of classic books. Some of them were in my TBR since forever and the rest of them were prescribed in my syllabus. So in today's video I'll be listing 21 great classics that I read in 2021. And I'll be starting with the books that I liked the least, and towards the end of the video I'll get to the books that I liked the most. So let's start. The first book is The Mayor of Casterbridge by Thomas Hardy. It has the typical pessimistic tone of Thomas Hardy. If you have never read Hardy before, you may start with this book because it has many twists and turns. The only reason why I have placed it on number 21 is that it has been made too lengthy. Number 20 is Kanthapura by Raja Rao, a classic of Indian literature of 1930s dealing with the pre-independence struggle of the Indian society and influence of Gandhiji. Number 19 is Huckleberry Finn by Mark Twain. Now Huckleberry Finn is all-time classic of children's literature, which is a sequel to the adventures of Tom Sawyer, but it can be read even without reading the previous book. Although it is considered a children's classic, but it does not mean that it is only for children. It was prescribed in our graduation syllabus. The major themes dealt in this book is slavery and racism. Book number 18 is Three Men in a Boat by Jerome K. Jerome, a very underrated classic. I have reviewed this book and I'll put link of its review in the description. Moving on to number 17, it is a Hindi classic, that too by Munshi Premchand and that too Godan. I always had this conception in mind that Premchand must be the Hindi version of Shakespeare and his writings must be very difficult to understand. But it is not like this. He writes about common man in common language. This book Godan is about plight of a poor farmer's family. Book number 15 is The Guide by Rk Narayan, one of the most popular books by Rk Narayan. The plot is uniquely simple like all books by Narayan, but it has the open ending and I have still not reached to my own conclusion. I still keep asking people who have read this book about their thought regarding this book. If you have some opinion about the ending of this book, you are more than welcome in the comment section. Book number 14 is 1984 by George Orwell, the all-time classic dystopian fiction and a must-read. Book number 13 is The Vendor of Sweets by Rk Narayan, a great book depicting the clash between the tradition and modernity and also the struggles of a single parent. Book number 12 is Mrs. Dalloway by Virginia Woolf, the most difficult classic I have ever read. I need to read it again to have some more understanding of it. Book number 11 is Old Man and the Sea by Ernest Hemingway. Although I had read this book a couple of years back, but at that time I could not understand much. Finally this year I formed the understanding of this book because it was also part of my syllabus.
Even this is a very difficult book, can you believe?
Book number 10 is The Mimic Man by V.S. Nypal. It's a post-colonial work about the identity crisis and the sense of dislocation that a colonized man faces. Book number 9 is 12 Years a Slave by Solomon Northup. It's a memoir written by Solomon Northup, who was born a free man, but he was sold into slavery without even his knowledge, and the whole book is about his terrible experience as a slave. Book number 8 is A Little Princess by Frances Hudson Burnett. It's also a part of children's literature, but I enjoyed reading it. Book number 7 is Untouchable by Mulk Raz Anand. It's a part of Dalit literature, but it is influenced by Gandhiji as well. In fact, Mulk Raz Anand finished this book in the ashram of Gandhiji. Book number 6 is Black Beauty by Anna Sewell. It's an autobiography of a horse. This book can actually make you more sensible towards animals. Book number 5 is Nirmala by Munshi Premchand. It's a masterpiece written by Munshi Premchand, and up to what extent child marriage and dowry can affect the life of a girl is shown in this book. Book number 4 is That Long Silence by Shashi Deshpande, a great example of Indian feminist literature. The next book is Metamorphosis by Franz Kafka. Kafka is one of the best writers that anyone can ever get to read. The link of the full review is in the description. The book number 2 is The Color Purple by Alice Walker. This is the book that has brought me back to reading this year. I cannot praise this book enough. The way Alice Walker has written the entire book in form of letters is just amazing. And finally, the book number 1 is The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. No matter how much I overhype it, no matter how much everybody overhypes it, it is still underhyped book. The most beautiful book that I have ever read in my life. You can read this book 10 times and still find it equally beautiful. So these are all the great classics that I read in 2021. I hope you liked today's video. See you in the next video. Bye bye.